What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode. No, this is not my Street Triple RS. This, in fact, is a subscriber's Street Triple R. It's really difficult for me to review this bike as a standalone review without talking about my Street Triple RS. So in this video, I'm gonna kinda also compare it to my Street Triple RS because it has a lot of the same specs as my RS model with a couple of variations here and there. So the first couple things that we're going to be talking about in this video are the cosmetic differences.
This past time won't help me getting over it. I don't know what I'm bringing in closer. Yeah, I'm looking ahead, looking out for someone like you.
On my RS, you're going to find that the frame is a silver color, but on the R model, it's red. And to be honest with you, I kind of like the red a little bit better. Other than that, the paint scheme on this is the same color as my Street Triple RS, except I think that this doesn't have the clear coat. And it's not a glossy finish, it's more of a matte tank. Otherwise, it looks very good quality, just like my Street Triple RS. Other things that are different is the seat, as well as the dash. The dash on this is something that I particularly like, because nowadays, all new motorcycles are coming with full digital dashes. And I kind of like the fact that this still has an old school tachometer, along with a semi-TFT screen, which gives you all the pertinent information that you need, such as your odometer, what modes you're in. Speaking of modes, it has rain, road, and sport mode, and user-defined, similar to the Street Triple RS. The only thing that's missing from this is the track mode. Other differences on this motorcycle is that the master cylinder on the RS model is made by Brembo. We're going to be talking about how this feels and how it compares to the Brembo Master Cylinder as we start riding. And the same thing on the right hand side. This, I'm not really sure which company makes it, but this looks very similar to the Street Triple RS. The only difference is that the Street Triple RS is kind of like a gunmetal look in comparison to this. Otherwise, the mirrors are a little bit different as well. You have them directly on the handlebar as opposed to the bar ends. Some may prefer this, some may prefer the Street Triple RS. Aside from that, the specs of the motorcycle, we're talking about 116 horsepower for the R model with 57 foot-pounds of torque. You get fully adjustable Showa big piston forks in the front, but unfortunately the shock is not fully adjustable in the rear, with the exception of the springs. On the plus side, it also has the same quick up and down shifter as the RS model. So anyways, with that said, I think now it's time for us to take this baby on the road and see how it differs from the RS model. So just like my RS model, you have to hold the clutch and then turn the engine on. On my Street Triple RS, this looks different and this looks different, but otherwise they both function very similar. Riding this motorcycle is pretty nostalgic for me because whenever I got my Street Triple RS, it was bone stock just like this motorcycle is. The only difference with this motorcycle is that it has the engine protector as well as the frame sliders, which is something I should probably put on my motorcycle as well. I'm surprised I haven't done that yet. The sliders look pretty stock. Like, it doesn't even look like it was put on. It looks like something that came with the bike. Considering this is the same exact engine and it doesn't have an exhaust on, I'm being reminded by how cool the triple engine sounds without any other noises interfering it. You can actually hear everything moving inside and it sounds absolutely amazing. That whistle that you typically hear on a triple engine is something that this motorcycle does a pretty good job of. So I'm currently in sport mode and in 6th gear. Considering this motorcycle has 116 horsepower compared to my Street Triple RS that has 121, even though a lot of people are buying this motorcycle as their first bike, it's a lot of bike. The Street Triple RS is meant more for a person who's an expert rider. I would say on the upper end of the intermediate, inching over towards the expert rider category is something who the Street Triple RS is meant for. And let's not even begin to talk about the Speed Triple, because that's on a way different category altogether. But that being said, at 116 horsepower, this motorcycle is got a seriously beefy engine. The throttle response is nice and sharp, even in 6th gear. I don't have to downshift in order to overtake a car. Right now it's wide open throttle, 6th gear. And this thing has got a serious amount of torque. Between my Street Triple RS and this, I don't really feel that much of a difference in terms of ride quality. Even if I give you my opinion, if it's a little bit different or not, that could also be debated, because you can adjust the front and the rear to your liking if you're going to go to the track, or if you're going to be riding this mostly on the street, etc. The kind of person I see buying the Street Triple RS is the type of person who's mostly a track enthusiast. He or she has a lot of experience on the track. He or she wants something that is an absolute missile. Yes, it's going to cost you more money. As an example, Keanu purchased this motorcycle, 8.5 grand in the used market from a private individual, and I think that's an absolute steal, considering that the new ones go for 10,800. It's a phenomenal motorcycle, considering that it has a quick up and down shifter with auto blip, and I'm really happy that it has that, because if it didn't, then it would suck to pay the extra 300 plus the labor cost just to install either an aftermarket kit or the one that Triumph provides. Yeah, it sounds good, man. You can really hear that triple whine. To be honest with you, I really can't tell the difference between riding my Street Triple RS and this. Now, if I was on the track, it would be a different story, because the Street Triple RS has probably got a little bit of a better amount of acceleration and probably top end. But that aside, I really can't tell the difference just driving it on these normal streets. And that's a good thing, because the Street Triple RS is going to cost you $2,800 or $2,000 more than the R model. In the beginning, I was a little skeptical of the mirrors on the handlebars. I was wondering if they're going to be shaking or not. The visibility is really not that much different than the Street Triple RS model. The mirrors don't vibrate at all. I can't ride a bike on a daily basis if the mirrors are going to be vibrating. Let's see if I can make it through these guys. Yes, I can. What a beautiful day in Coronado Island. I'm still looking forward to riding a Trident, so if you have one and you're local, send me a message on Instagram or send me an email. We'll schedule something, because I'm really looking forward to riding a Trident. I called a couple of dealers, and unfortunately they're all sold out. As you can imagine, such an in-demand product. But once again, thanks to Keanu for allowing me to ride his R, because now I can honestly tell you that I really can't tell too much of a difference between the R and the RS model. Although the seat on this motorcycle is different than the RS model, it doesn't feel any different. I think it's just the texture and the stitching that separates it from the RS model, but otherwise they feel exactly the same. It's just as comfortable for me, so I don't know any difference. Looks like it's got a shift light. My RS doesn't even have a shift light. Man, I'm jealous now. Alright, it's a pretty fast bike. Gotta be honest though, the RS is gonna be a little bit faster. You can feel the acceleration on the RS. When you give this thing the wide open throttle on the RS, you can feel it a lot more, and I think it's got a little bit better top end. But that being aside, the average person who's gonna be riding this bike, are they gonna be doing that every single day? Oh wow, that beach is so beautiful. Look at that. Alright guys, now it's conclusion time. I can honestly tell you without a shadow of a doubt that this between the RS model is something very difficult to tell. Yes, if you get off the motorcycle and you take a look at both bikes and put them next to each other, yes, you can tell that there are visual differences. But as far as riding quality is concerned, they're both very similar. Where this motorcycle separates itself from the RS in the performance sector, if you're going to be taking this motorcycle on the track and you're going to put them both next to each other, I think the RS model is probably going to be the natural winner, because that has more horsepower, more torque, and a different suspension system. But how much of a difference will it be? Probably not by much. So back to what I was talking about in the beginning of this video, this motorcycle being $2,000 less than the RS model. Is the RS model something that you should spend all that extra money for if you're looking for a motorcycle to ride on regular streets like I did today, and once in a while take it up into the canyons and everything? Well, my answer to that is I don't really think so, because I think this motorcycle is just as capable as the RS model, and I think it's a motorcycle that you're going to save a lot of money on. If you're not looking to have all the upscale components that the RS model has, and to you it won't really make much of a difference because this is your second motorcycle, or perhaps even your first. This is Keanu's first motorcycle. Even though this is not something I recommend for a first timer, it's a lot of motorcycle as your first motorcycle, but if it is going to be your first one, then I think that you're going to be extremely happy with it. Like I said, on the track, different story. What I would personally do to this is take off that exhaust, because you would save about 13 pounds, and I would put a slip on, and then I think you have a perfect bike. It's going to sound fantastic, it already rides amazing, and that's pretty much it, guys. Save some money, buy the R model if it's going to be your second motorcycle, or you're just going to be riding it on streets and you're not interested in track day events. I enjoyed riding this motorcycle, and if you buy it, you will enjoy riding it as well. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below, and give this video a like. And until next time, guys, ciao for now.